This is probably going to be a long one. Hi, hello, it's Nikki and welcome to my messy bookshelf. Today I'm here with another haul video. These are all the books that I have acquired in the month of April. I have recently made room on my shelves because I am reorganizing my books. You probably can't tell from just looking right behind me, but maybe right up there you can tell. I am just trying to figure out where those are going to go, excuse me. And we'll be filming a bookshelf tour here very soon. So this book haul is probably one of the most eclectic book hauls I think I have ever done. There is a little bit of everything. We have classics, we have sci-fi, a nonfiction, a thriller, you name it. And stick around to the end if you want to see the troll video that my daughter filmed making fun of me and my channel. I've been wanting to share that, but I didn't want to post it as its own video. Anywho, on to the books. So the first book that I picked up was There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafak. And this is a book that is about the Epic of Gilgamesh and how three very different people in different times and different places were connected by this book. So, sounds very intriguing, and Gilgamesh has been on my mind a lot lately. And this was not planned whatsoever, but I also picked up Gilgamesh by Stephen Mitchell. And this, when I picked it up at the store, I opened it and I thought, this looks so much easier to read than the last translation that I picked up. It wasn't until I got it home and read the introduction that I saw it's not actually a translation. It's not a new translation. This is more of a retelling. This author took 4 different translations of the Epic of Gilgamesh and formed it into English prose. So that is why it seemed so much easier to read. Regardless, I am still interested and would like to pick this one up. It's been on my mind ever since I made my 5 hardest books that I've read video, and I am determined to get through Gilgamesh. So, again. The next one I picked up is a memoir, and this is When I Was Puerto Rican by Esmeralda Santiago. And this is about a girl who grows up in Puerto Rico and relocates to New York with her family. And I am very excited for this one. And yeah, I am trying to read more memoirs this year, more nonfiction, more memoirs, and here we are. I also read one other book by her, and it was Conquistador, I believe, which was a fiction. The next one I picked up is solely because I have been so sad since I finished Project Hail Mary, and I picked up Artemis by Andy Weir. And I know this one is nothing like The Martian or Project Hail Mary, but I was like, I need more. I need more from this author because I loved both of those other books. This one is a thriller, a space thriller, and it is about a lunar colony and a criminal who is the protagonist. And that is all I know. The next one I have here is The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick. And I remember watching the show years ago, and I had wanted to pick up the book. This is basically an alternate reality, essentially. World War II went a completely different way, and the US is occupied by Japan and Germany. So, the show was fantastic. I remember loving the show, and I am very curious to get into this one. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. We still have quite a few more, but we're getting there. The next book I have here is House of Splinters by Laura Purcell. This is a prequel to The Silent Companions, which I've mentioned a few times on my channel, and it was probably one of the most bone-chilling books that I've read in the last few years. Horror is hit or miss with me because I don't like super gruesome body horror. Typically, I usually like supernatural horror, and this The other one was, and this is a prequel set, I believe, in the same house with the same figures. Very menacing figures that are in the house. And I am pretty excited for this one. And I know this is not short enough to fulfill prompts for Horror Mayhem, but I might pick this up in May. I've been wanting more from that author. The next one I have here is Worlds of Exile and Illusion by Ursula K. LeGuin. My first Ursula K. LeGuin. And I believe this is the first 3 books in the Hainish saga. I don't know how many books are in... Yeah, the first 3 books of the celebrated Hainish series. So, I have heard so many people talk about Ursula K. LeGuin. I remember hearing Pat mention her many times and various other people on BookTube, so I am excited for this. I want more sci-fi, so here we are. I went back to the banned books table and I found this one that probably a bunch of you have heard of. I had never heard of it, but it sounded fascinating. And this is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. And this is about a boy who is born with a really, really low IQ. And they use him as a test subject for this new... they're basically experimenting on him with a new procedure to his brain to make him smarter, because it was successful on a mouse called Algernon. And it appears that it works. And you can see the boy becoming smarter and smarter, and then the mouse dies. So excited to get into this one. And the next one I have is one I've heard mentioned many times as well, and this is The Bell Jar by Silvia Plath. I've never read anything by Silvia Plath, and all I know about this one is it seems we are following a woman as she is having a mental breakdown. And it sounds chilling and fascinating, so excited for that one as well. And then I have been looking forward to this for a while. I have heard so much about Anthony Trollope recently because of several people, but mainly Angelia at Read and Reread, and this is The Warden. I have been wanting to try Anthony Trollope for a while now, especially watching her videos and making it through the series. I believe this is the first book in the Barchester series. Chronicles of Barsetshire. Excuse me, I am completely wrong with the name. The Chronicles of Barsetshire. And I have heard nothing but good things. I also saw recently Katie from Books and Things made a video about 10 reasons why you should read Anthony Trollope, and I had just picked this up, so I was very excited about that. And then coincidentally, I also found Barchester Towers, which I think is book number 2. And I'm kind of sad that they're not the same edition, but it's okay. It's okay. And then another classic, and I already own this, but I don't own it in paperback. And one of my bucket list books, or I guess 3 books, is to get through the Divine Comedy. I have read Inferno a couple of times, and I made it maybe halfway through Purgatorio, and I never finished it, and I have never read Paradiso. And I am a person who loves a floppy book. I am much more likely to open it when it's a pleasure to hold and turn pages. And I'm thinking about doing a 50 books before 50 project. I've sort of been brainstorming that for a little while, and this is one of the things that will definitely be on it. So, a new copy of the Divine Comedy in paperback, and it looks lovely. Yeah, I am excited for that. I have been wanting to get through the other 2 books in that trilogy for a long time. The next one I have here is a nonfiction. I have read 2 books by this person written by him, and now I want more. So I picked up Frederick Douglass, Prophet of Freedom by David W. Blight. And yeah, like I said, I've read 2 of the books that Frederick Douglass himself wrote, and I want more. I want to know more about his life. And I think this is a full, comprehensive biography of Frederick Douglass, because the 2 books that I've read only encapsulate a portion of his life, and I would like to know more about his life. So there we have that. I said I wasn't going to buy more nonfiction, but I made an exception for that. The next one is one I am planning to read for Horror Mayhem, and I just recently heard about this. Very recently. And yeah, this is Dracula's Guest by Bram Stoker. And there's a couple of different short stories in here, but this is by Bram Stoker himself. And I think the main story, the Dracula's Guest story, is supposed to be, it's an unnamed person that is the protagonist, but believed to be Jonathan Harker from Dracula. So yes, I am here for that. I love Dracula. I love that book. And then the next 2 I have here are just replacing older copies, and I'm also collecting these editions. So I have Jane Eyre and Villette by Charlotte Bronte. And I own both of these, and I have read both of these already. I actually think the Seriously Well-Read Book Club is reading this next month. And I just recently reread this, I think, late last year. But I may follow along. Again, because it's great. And I remember loving Villette. I remember being unhappy with the ending, but I don't remember too much about it. But I am very happy to add these to my Penguin Black Spine collection, which will be moving, actually, once I get rid of that top shelf. And then finally, we are here down to the last book, and I bought book 4, Dungeon Crawler Carl. I also bought book 3, but I am already reading it, so it's in the kitchen because I was reading while I was cooking dinner. But The Gate of the Feral Gods. I cannot say it. Everybody is talking about this series, and this is one of the few times where I feel that the hype is warranted. I just can't get enough of this series. It is so fun, and it is so fun to dive into these books when I'm reading so many other books that are so serious, and you know, this is just a blast. And yeah, so this is my fairly extensive book haul. I think I have room for everything because I just have purged my shelves, like I mentioned. I donated a bunch of books, put some in a little free library, and my son took a couple when he came for spring break. So yeah, here we are. And I thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. Stick around if you want to see me getting made fun of. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to my messy bookshelves. My name is Nikki, and today I will be talking about the books that I have read. So first, there's this one, and then there's this one, and it's The Trumpet of the Swan. And it's about a swan who has a trumpet. And it's a very funny book. I've read it multiple times, and it's so funny. And in fact, I am reading it again. Right, see, because this is my bookmark. So yeah, I'm reading that one, and I love The Hobbit. I read it like a million times. And then I also love The Lord of the Rings, and it's the same author of The Hobbit. And as if you can't tell, I am sick, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little off, because I have allergies. Yep, allergies. Don't forget to stay hydrated, everybody. Also, don't forget to drink your mummy juice. And, yeah, this one is about a person who goes to jail, but it's for something he didn't do, so he was innocent. But they put him in jail anyways. Oh, the suspense. Oh. And then at some point he escapes. And then he gets revenge on the people who put him in jail. Yep. I would suggest this one. Also this one too. I would suggest that one. And if you also have a child, you should also do this one.